After the round of 16, which team has impressed you the most? So your best team. After
Best
the
team,
group stages, yeah.
I'll give it to Cape Verde.
The best team?
Yeah, surprisingly, they topped a group that had Egypt and Ghana, who are past winners of the Afcon. So I give it to Cape Verde. They have been so fantastic with their very sweet and fascinating style of football. I'll give it to Cape Verde.
Worst team?
Worst team, I'll give it to Algeria. Algeria, they perform below expectations, and in a group that where most football pundits actually tipped them to top the table, unfortunately they finished at the rock bottom. So the worst team for me in the group stage is Algeria.
Best player?
Best player, I think I'll give it to the Equatorial Guinea striker, Emiliano Isua something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for a right back to switch to a striker and top the high goal scorer table with 5 goals, so I give it to him.
And looking at the round of 16 fixtures, who will go all the way?
Wow, this is a very tricky questions because talking about the round of 16, we are through to the knockout stage where uh, either you win or you are sent packing back to your country. So it's a tough one to call, but I think it should be between Senegal or Nigeria.
Best team of the group stages?
Best team of the group stage has to be Senegal. A close second will be Morocco, but has to be Senegal.
Worst team?
The worst team, I mean, everybody would think I'll say Cote d'Ivoire, but in reality, I'll say Egypt. I mean, Egypt basically had to snuck into the round of 16s, 3 draws basically. You get even from a winning position against what's their
Cape
name?
Verde.
Cape Verde. So I'm going to say Egypt has been my worst team of group. But they are always terrible at group stages. Then they go on to do wonderful things.
Best player?
Best player, Emiliano Nsue, that's Equatorial Guinea, and Bebe of Cape Verde. Any of the two of them for me.
And who go all the way?
Who go all the way? Okay, so I would have said the Black Stars of Ghana, but the Black Stars are no longer they are no longer in the tournament, so I cannot say the Black Stars of Ghana. So what I'll say, and I really love to say the Super Eagles, so that the Black Stars fans will realize that Super Eagles are still here. Yes, but in reality, what I'm going to say is that the teams I expect to be in the final will be Cote d'Ivoire. Listen, I know they are playing Senegal. Yes, I expect the final to be between Cote d'Ivoire, or Cote d'Ivoire. Options are Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Morocco from that distance. Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire, Morocco or Cape Verde. Let me go again. Nigeria, Morocco or Cape Verde, and then from the other side, I go with Ivory Coast and Egypt, because Egypt will just keep getting better.
Best team of the group stages?
Well, it has to be the Savannah National of Equatorial Guinea. They've surprised a lot of people here. They started the competition with a 1-1 draw against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Everybody thought they were lucky because the Super Eagles wasted a number of scoring chances in that game. But the second game, personally, I didn't expect them to beat Guinea-Bissau in the second game, but they won 4-2. And the big one, the most shocking result of, probably one of the shocking results of the tournament so far, beating the host 4-0 in front of their fans. I think something extraordinary.
Your worst team?
Well, it has to be Algeria, because since the Desert Forces won the Afcon
Yeah.
in 2019, they have not really recorded a win in the competition. So, with the caliber of players they have in their team, Mahrez and co, we expect them to at least make it to probably the quarterfinal and the semi-final. But losing to a tiny nation like Mauritania, to me is the biggest shock of this tournament.
Best player?
Well, I'll go for Nsue, the Equatorial Guinea guy. He has scored 5 goals so far in this tournament, so to me, he's the best so far.
And who do you think will go all the way from the round of 16 fixtures you've
Well,
seen?
it's difficult to really pick out one snake at this stage because, we saw at the last Afcon, the Super Eagles, they won the group stage. They won all their
Yeah,
three
their matches.
So when they met Tunisia, who were one of the best losers, they went out. So it's difficult. I can't really stick out my neck. We have a lot of blockbuster games coming up. Nigeria, Cameroon, Ivory Coast,
You
Senegal,
must stick out your neck. Say
Morocco,
something. Choose one.
Morocco, South Africa. So Cape Verde, Mauritania. So it's going to be an interesting round of 16.
16,
So
yeah.
I can't really stick out
Because-
my neck
okay.
at this stage.
Best team.
Probably, it's Senegal.
Senegal.
Because they were the only
Nine,
team
oh,
to
yeah.
win all of their 3 group stage games. So I'll give it to Senegal. But I think Cape Verde will come close to them.
Worst team.
Worst team, I think I would choose 2 teams. The Black Stars of Ghana and then Algeria. Yeah, aside their 2 points, they played the worst of footballs again.
Best player.
Best player will be very tight, but I think Emilio Insu Lopez of Equatorial Guinea is topping the chart now.
Who go all the way?
All the way, very difficult to take one team, but I think Egypt,
Wow. Even after 3 draws.
Egypt, they are a tournament team. They are like the Real Madrid playing in the UEFA Champions League. When they are in the knockout stages, they are dangerous. So I'll tip Egypt. I still believe Senegal will overcome Ivory Coast. I think Cameroon also have a slight advantage over Nigeria. Cape Verde, Equatorial Guinea, one of them could be in the semi-finals. So I think this is it.
This is the best player of the group stages.
Well, I think I'll go for Senegal's Lamine. Very young, got promoted from the U20 side to join the senior side. And I feel he's shown a lot of promise. He's not allowed the stage to overtake him. He's been able to manage the stage very well and he's doing extremely fantastic. So, best player, I'll go for Lamine.
Best team of the group stages.
It's difficult because I respectfully feel that Cape Verde, Mauritania, Equatorial Guinea have done extremely very well. And it's because of the fact that they were underdogs before the competition. And so usually when underdogs surprise a lot of people, they get a lot of attention, a lot of traction, and a lot of, plaudits. But I feel I'll choose Senegal as my best team of the tournament because they've been able to maintain the status quo. Usually it's very difficult to maintain it, but Senegal have been able to maintain it. They've sustained their leadership role as in being the champions. They won all their 3 group matches, and that is a very big statement. It rarely happens when teams win the Afcon. We've seen countries win the Afcon and the next Afcon they don't even qualify for the tournament. So I feel that Senegal have done well by maintaining the status quo, and I'll go for Senegal.
Worst team.
The worst. I have Ghana. I have Tunisia. I have Algeria to pick from. But I feel I'll go for Algeria. I'll go for Algeria because in 2019 they won the Afcon.
Yeah.
So in the last 10 years, no, let's say in the last 5 years, they've been champions. In the last edition, they couldn't even qualify from the group stage.
Yeah, again.
And again, they've maintained it. The same status with Ghana. But what makes them worse, in my opinion, is that they were defending champions before the last edition, and they lost it. Ghana were not defending champions. And so that's the only difference. Either than that, they are on the same scale with Ghana. But if you look at it even critically, it's even funny. Ghanaians are not happy with the way Ghana performed. But Charlie, if you look at the story of Algeria, it's crazy.
And finally, who do you think will go all the way from here on?
Knockout is very difficult, but I feel that Nigeria can be tipped. Senegal is there. I also feel one of the underdogs can also surprise the system. I have tipped Namibia from the start of the tournament, and I
To
still
go all
stand
the
by
way?
them. Yes, I still stand by Namibia.
Wow.
I have confidence in the team, and I feel that if they make some few corrections, as in their game with South Africa, they watch the game again and make a few corrections, they'll be able to go further. But Cape Verde, Mauritania, and then Equatorial Guinea can also pull surprises. But if there will be a surprise, I'll go for Namibia. But the winner is between either Senegal or Nigeria. But if there will be an element of surprise, it's Namibia.